We were sitting around the campfire when Stacy started to tell us a story about a witch who was burned at the stake. The story itself was not as scary at all. It was kind of lame, to be honest. But what actually horrified me was the fact that her eyes turned completely white when she started the story. I tried to convince myself that it was just a reflection of the fire. But the more I looked at her, the scarier her look got. And it seemed like I was the only one who was scared by the look she had. After the story was over, her eyes turned normal, and I decided to shake it off. But when we decided to go to our sleeping bags to sleep, a high-pitched screaming horrified all of us. And that was the moment we all realized that Stacy had gone missing. Everybody gathered some flashlights to go look for her, but I was the only one who didn't want to, even though Stacy was one of my close friends. But her eyes made me so scared that I didn't want to find her. But I had to accompany everyone else if I didn't want it to look bad. Despite my better judgment, we split up in the woods and started chanting her name. After a few hours of searching, the sun started to come up and it was easier for us to look around. That was when we spotted the smoke coming from in the middle of the trees. I ran towards it hoping that it was a Stacy, and thankfully it was. But somehow I wasn't even slightly happy to find her, because you see, she was sitting in front of a platform that she made out of woods. She had lit some fire and was chanting something under her breath. I called her a few times, but she didn't answer me. It felt like she was possessed or something. I walked closer to her with shaky legs and placed a hand on her shoulder. That was when she turned around with the same white eyes. She was staring at me with agony, and I was terrified to my core. She didn't look like herself anymore. It was like staring at somebody else's face. When I listened closer, I realized that she was chanting, "It's time to get revenge." I didn't understand what she meant at first, but her chanting grew more violent by the second. After a few seconds, she stood up and yanked me by the collar, dragging me in the middle of the fire that she made. I yelled and screamed and dragged my feet, hoping someone would come to save me, but nothing worked. And with hatred in her voice, she yelled, "May all of you burn in hell for burning me at the stake."